Woo! Welcome back to the TMBC Wake YouTube channel. If you haven't entered the surfboard giveaway yet, make sure to get over to that video and get yourself entered. I'll put a link right above me, I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll put a link at the end of this video. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to cover my steps for summerizing my boat. Because I do a pretty thorough job on winterizing my boat, there's not a whole lot to do for summerization, but I will talk about a few things you might want to consider doing in addition to what I've done, in case you didn't do your winterization quite like I did mine. All right, let's get to it. So one of the first things I'm going to do is hook my batteries back up, check the charge. So my charge is pretty good. I'll check it again the night before I go out to the lake. And if I need to, I'll throw a charge on it. So now I'm gonna put the drain plugs back in on the motor. So there's one right there, that brass fitting. So I need to put a plug right there. So I'm gonna pop this off. So now it's easier to get to my plugs back here. So I'll pop one of these guys off. Okay, that one's good. And there's two more in the front. So I need to get below my Wakeview bench. Pop this guy off for access to the V drive. There is one right on the bottom of the front of this, right down here. And then the other one is on, you see that hose right there that has the blue sticker on it? It actually comes around, goes to this side, and I'm pretty sure that the plug goes on that hose somewhere. All right, got the one on the front of the V drive. Now, this hose right here is where the other one goes. That hose, where you see the T-clamp in the middle, that's where the other plug goes. Now you can see the blue plug on it. There's one more plug that goes at the rear bottom of the engine. I'll show you that. Before I close the engine hatch, I'm gonna check the oil level. So as some of you know, I do an oil change at my winterization. So my oil is nice and clean and ready to go. I just check my oil to make sure that it's not low for some reason, whether it be there was a small leak or maybe I just didn't fill it quite to the right level when I did the oil change. Just really a good thing to check actually frequently throughout the season, but just want to make sure I check that at my summerization time as well. If you did not change your oil at the end of your season, did not do it during your winterization, I would suggest you go do that as part of your summerization. You can also check out my video on how to change your oil on a wake boat. I'll put a link right above me and I'll put a link right in the description below. So here is where I need to install my final plug. You can see the blue sticker above it. It's on the rear bottom starboard side of the engine. And here is a shot of the blue plug installed. So now I'm going to hook up a hose to my water intake where the water filter is so that I can run my engine and just make sure it runs appropriately. And also I like to usually run the prop for a second. Just make sure that everything seems sound. Also, if you've added antifreeze to your cooling system, then this will flush it out, as I know some states will fine you if you expel antifreeze into a lake or a river or something to that effect. Even though it's supposed to be completely environmentally safe, I believe there is a fine for that. So you want to try to flush that before you get out on the lake. So in my boat, I can hook it up right where the water filter is. Some boats have flush kits where you can hook up the hose on the back of the boat. Other boats, you have to use a fake lake. So you can actually see the pink fluid coming out of my exhaust. So that is the antifreeze that I had put in there coming out. So I'm just checking around underneath the boat, in the back of the boat, making sure that water is going out of the correct places, coming out of the intake, coming out on the shaft, and coming out of the exhaust, making sure there's appropriate flow. I'm also taking a look at my screen to make sure that there's no oil pressure problems, overheating problems, which you probably wouldn't notice overheating problems until after a while of running the engine anyways. Now I'm just checking in the engine compartment around the V drive to make sure that there's no water leaking anywhere, specifically around where I've installed the plugs and just around the motor in general and in the bottom of the boat to make sure that there's no water running into the boat. As you can see, there's still snow on the ground when I'm doing my summerization. And why I'm showing you that is I want to make sure that you know that when you decide to summerize your boat, Hopefully you're doing it in an environment that it is safe to do it in. The only reason why I'm summerizing my boat at this point in time, because it's still freezing overnight, is that I have an insulated garage, and the only time my garage gets below freezing is when it's below 0 outside. So if you're storing your boat outside, make sure the temperatures are not getting below freezing before you do your summerization. Otherwise, you could have problems with cracking your engine block. Okay, so let's do a quick recap on what I did to summarize my boat. Number one, make sure to connect your batteries if they were disconnected over the off season, and make sure they have a charge, and if not, put a charge on them or put a tinder on them. And if nothing else, check the charge the day before you go out and put a charger on it if needed. Number two, install your drain plugs and make sure to connect any water hoses that you disconnected for your winterization. If you ran antifreeze, you may not have had to disconnect any hoses. You may not have even taken out any water plugs, but reinstall any plugs that were removed and reconnect any hoses that were disconnected. Number three, check your oil level. And if you have not done an oil change during your winterization, then I suggest you do an oil change for your summerization. Number four, hook up running water to your boat and run the engine to make sure that there's no problems with the engine running, it's not overheating, you're getting the correct oil pressure, things of that sort. It doesn't sound weird, and make sure to flush out any antifreeze that you had added during your winterization. If you fogged your engine like I did during my winterization, it's going to do a little bit of stuttering or choking on the first start. Okay, that's my video for this week. I hope I helped you get your boat ready for summer. Make sure to tune in next week because I am applying my hydrosilix ceramic coating. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Also, leave comments below if you have something to say about it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notifications bell so you can be notified of my future videos. I'll see you next week.